Hello Drive Radio fans, Richard Rush here this morning with John Rush, my dad, behind the camera, and today we were reviewing the 2015 and a half Volvo S60 T6 front-wheel drive sedan. This car does come in an all-wheel drive model, but this particular one that we drove was front-wheel drive, and I will say about this car, absolutely loved it. This car, as it sits right here, is about $47,550, but it starts out without all the options, which includes a different a platinum package, which includes the lights, the adaptive cruise, includes the wheels. This car starts out at $39,000, so you can get this exact car for under $40,000. And as we kind of walk around the car, I'll go over some of the features of it, which as you can see, the headlights right here, that is an added package, and you can even see right here they've actually added a light bar, which gives it a different look to it, kind of a cool LED look. This car under the hood has a supercharged and turbocharged 2-liter engine. Works tremendously well. I don't know how else to say it other than you really have to get in this car and drive it. Would have loved to drive it with the all-wheel drive model, see how it felt to have all the wheels and tires grab at the exact same time, but overall this car worked awesome. I was able to average, with my heavy foot being 22 years old, about 28-29 miles per gallon. My dad, the old guy as I like to call him, he was able to average about 31 miles to the gallon, 32 in some cases. But overall this car works tremendously well. When we get into the interior and the driving portion, you can see how this car looks on the inside. The interior feels great, looks great. My dad has made multiple comments that the lumbar support for him, he's a little bit older and does not quite have the back support, it's not quite up for him, which honestly that's his opinion, and in some cases it is true. I had some older people riding this car, they said very similar things. However, for me, my younger generation, I didn't feel any issues, didn't have any issues with it. This car handles extremely well, performs awesome. But with that being said, let's go see how it performs. Let's jump in the driver's seat, take a look, and we'll come back into the interior. Okay everyone, we're in the driving portion, and as we always do, show you the backup. What's nice about this car is it does turn with it, and it shows you two different things. It shows you kind of the checkered, which is warning zone. It shows you your little buffer zone, and especially as you turn the car, you're able to see where you're going, where the car's going. And what's really nice is actually if you're in drive, you can, and as we kind of get going here forward, it's going to switch back to your infotainment system. But then if you hit the camera button, it will actually show you the backup camera. So maybe you're getting ready to pull out, don't want to put it in reverse yet, you hit that camera button, it lets you go to that, and you can actually change views as well. But overall, as we're kind of taking a drive on this car, we'll notice the comfortability. It's not gonna just be the most comfortable car out there, but for just under $50,000, it's a pretty good car. We have a bumpy road here, so kind of take everything we do with a grain of salt. Really works well, handles well. The turbo and the supercharger work really well in tandem. If this car, when you put it to the metal, it gets up and go. I don't know if you can see the kind of the lurch back there. We weren't doing it on purpose. It's just me putting the pedal to the metal, to be honest, and just going with it. So overall this car works well. I'm gonna kind of slow down here as we go over whatever they're doing in the road here, but really enjoyed this car. Like I mentioned in the first part of the review, the fuel economy, about 28 to about 31 miles to the gallon is what we were able to average. This car works tremendously well. There's a lot of customizable features that you can give in this car, that you can change some settings around. But if you want the infotainment system, we've said this over and over again, and you want to take a look, it's very hard for us to figure out how, or for us to show you exactly how everything works. So get in this car, test it out yourself. Dad, what are your quick impressions on this car?
I like this car a lot. The short review, I didn't get a chance to get in all the details that Richard did, but yeah, I would just be adamant about everything Richard said. The car works very well. I've gotten more used to the center stack of the Volvo, which at first is a little bit cumbersome, but once you get used to it, it really becomes a very easy system to use. And this is a great car. It runs well, and I really enjoyed it.
I did as well. And as we kind of take this corner a little bit faster up here, getting kind of braced, this car does have some nice Pirelli tires on it, which hold the road very well. It's a fun little car to drive. Probably wouldn't take it on a racetrack, but overall fun car, great car to drive. With that being said, let's head back. We'll take a look at the trunk and the interior, and we'll finish off. All right, everyone, we're back from the driving portion, and as we always say, and it's kind of my really personal opinion, get out and drive these cars. There's no way for you to figure out if you like this car, no matter what we say, no matter what anyone else says, until you actually put yourself inside the car, inside the seat, put your family inside the car, because you may like it, but it may be totally uncomfortable for your family or wife or whoever else is driving it. So get in these cars and drive them. But with that being said, this is the trunk space of the 2015 and a half Volvo S60. It's got a good amount of trunk space. There's not a ton of room, but at the same time, I was kind of toting around some different things. Actually had my nephews, and we're toting some different diaper bags and car seats, and there's more than enough room on it. You can see it does have these nice plastic coverings, so you don't see the metal. It's not exposed. And as my dad did just show you, as you go in, this is with the seat being down, there's quite a bit of room in there. And there's right here is the backrest release. All you have to do is pull, and you'll hear it kind of click, and then that means the seat can fold forward. But really, overall, quite a bit of trunk space. You can compare it to some of the other cars that we review, but really is nice in my opinion. And I will point this out as we're kind of going around to the passenger side here. I love the look of the back of this car. It has a nice sloped look. It looks aggressive, it looks stylish, almost futuristic to a point. My personal opinion as a 22-year-old, really love the design. So Volvo, 2 thumbs up. As we get into here into the back seat, and we put this seat up, I'll show you in the front portion of it. You can actually put these back headrests down as you do that. But we get back, once again, the seat is all the way back. It is a little bit tight. I did have one, like I said, my nephew in here with the car seat. His feet were kind of touching here. You had to put the front seat pretty far forward to have him not touching. So it's a little bit smaller of a back seat. Is it a deal breaker? Probably not, but once again, just something to consider. Also, it does have seat heaters here in the back, which is a great, nice feature. Some vents right here. The leather, one of my favorite parts of it. It looks great. Haven't been a huge fan of the brown color leather. In this car, it's done tremendously well. As you can notice on the door panels, overall really is good. As we kind of climb into the front seat and I open the passenger seat, I will notice this. You don't find this on most cars. All of these doors open from you can just put your hand and it unlocks that door. In some cars, you have to go to the driver, not take the key out, but put your fingers on it, open it. All these doors will lock and unlock the car. Major plus Volvo, great job on that. So as I kind of let my dad climb into the front seat, I'll hop around the passenger and we'll finish. Okay, so as we get into the front seat here, and we kind of went over some of the interior and the driving portion of it, but Volvo's system is kind of its own unique system. You won't find many that look exactly like this, or many that look like it at all, to be honest. It takes a little while to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's pretty user-friendly. Once you feel comfortable, this is the 3rd or 4th Volvo we've driven in a relatively short amount of time, and we're pretty used to the controls now. So I will say that. And overall, really did enjoy this car. It has some nice plush leather. There is an added climate package on this car that gives you some heated seats, heated steering wheel, some different amenities like that. You do have the dual climate control. Overall, really do enjoy this car. It was nice to drive. It was awesome. I will take a second, because I didn't mention that in the driving portion. The Volvo app that they have, it's called their Volvo On Call. A lot of car companies are doing this now. What it allows you to do is check different features of your car. For example, were the doors locked? Okay, if they're not locked, let me lock them. Can I remote start my car? Yes. You can see how much fuel you have. You can see how much you have to your next oil change. It gives you a lot of features on your smartphone that a lot of car companies are trying to do now. It really is nice, really is handy. Gives you a lot of information at your fingertips. It allows you to start your car remotely up to 15 minutes while you're warming it up. I actually tried it this morning. We had a cooler morning. Started up for about 10-15 minutes, worked tremendously well. Climbed in, everything was hot, the seats were hot, temperature was hot, engine was warm, worked great. But overall, really did love this car and enjoyed it. Volvo, you've done a tremendous job. I will point out really quick, the mirror doesn't have any, I guess, what would you say that you would call that, Dad? What would you call that?
Rimless, maybe.
Rimless. I don't know what they call it. I really liked it. It kind of gives it a nice, cool, slick feature. But overall, this car works. I keep saying it, but works tremendously well. So with that being said, head to our YouTube page, Drive Radio. If you're on our website, head to Drive Radio, no spaces in the YouTube bar. You can catch all of our reviews there. If you're on YouTube, head to our website, drive-radio.com. You can find all of our reviews. You can also find us there every Saturday, 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. here in the Denver market. We broadcast live on YouTube. If you're in the Denver market and you're in your car, we broadcast live on 560 The Source. And if you're not in the Denver market, you can check us out on the TuneIn app. But we have a lot of reviews. We're going to have another review next week, so come back when you get a chance. Again, Richard Rush, John Rush, Drive Radio, thanks for joining us.